What up? It's Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, so gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe and Asante Samuel getting into it. The war of words uh, about what class that Asante Samuel is in as far as cornerback, all-time cornerbacks. Dion number one, all this and that. Look, um, I'll say this: when you have a high end talent, when you have high end talent, if you bolster that with high end fundamentals, that's when you are considered great, great. I mean, what they say about Jordan all the time. I mean, they say outside of being one of the most athletic players at the two guard position, they also say that he had the best fundamentals. Same thing with Kobe. And what trips up LeBron a lot of times? The fundamentals. So with that being my base, as far as trying to understand the situation, I'm not saying that Asante Samuel is in Deion Sanders' class, but I will say that Deion Sanders' position in the all-time list is a little inflated because I remember when he was playing, Deion Sanders did not tackle, and he said he's admitted it to himself. He always made business decisions. He was not there to tackle. He was there to check. He was there to get down, get interceptions, take the ball away. Right. All right. So I'm not a big numbers guy, but in this situation, I think the numbers do apply. So I looked at the all-time interceptions that he had, since they are cornerbacks. The job of a cornerback is take away the ball. 53 interceptions to 51. Deion Sanders has 53. Asante Samuel has 51. If I saw that wrong, somebody correct me. But from what I saw, two picks away isn't that far of a distance. And then not even just that. I remember Asante Samuel when he played for New England. I remember Asante Samuel when he played for the Eagles. Asante Samuel, they was always talking about you got to watch out for Asante Samuel. And in Deion's case, they didn't throw to Deion a lot. I remember Deion, the most exciting part of seeing Deion on the floor was the possibility of him taking it to the house. Anything else, that was your preference. Like, him and Irvin used to go back and forth about who did what in that in that NFC Championship game. He was fouling Irvin a lot. But they let it go because of his reputation. Because he had a well-known reputation for being a great cornerback. So they let him go with a lot of those fouls. But truth be told, he was fouling Irvin all that. Like most of the time when he was covering. And so much time has passed since Deion was on the field that all that's left, unless you just absolutely go back and look at it, he was a lot of that stuff was reputation. A lot of quarterbacks didn't throw his way because they didn't want to have a possible pick six on them, or just they didn't want the ball taken. But Deion got by a lot on his reputation, and as far as him swinging the power in the NFL that one year, okay, yeah, he went to San Francisco. San Francisco was getting desperate, more specifically, Steve Young was getting very desperate, and they needed that type of personality to offset the extreme professionalism, well, the uptightness, because I mean, for one, they might not have been reaching the Super Bowl. Steve Young might have been considered a washout or whatever as a quarterback, but that he was needed for that team, and that team wasn't too far off from championship type level. So he added, and they needed him, and they needed him. When he went to Dallas, Dallas was a different situation. They didn't did they win a title straight off? I'm trying to remember. Did they win the title straight off? Yeah, they came back and won the title, but that was it. Um, who I mean that talent on Dallas's team was in another stratosphere, and that was the tail end. That was when things were tailing off. So him winning the Super Bowl with Dallas, I mean, they might have won the Super Bowl without him. They might have, but after they won that Super Bowl, it wasn't. And I remember him being hurt a lot. I mean, his foot was an issue from the Dallas days, and I want to say from the San Francisco days, but I think he was on the field a lot of time, most of the time in San Francisco. But in Dallas, I remember him being hurt a lot. And then he retired, and then they went. I think he either retired and unretired and went to Washington, but he went to Washington. Yeah, he went to Washington. Then he retired, and then he unretired and went to Baltimore that 1 year. So like a lot of that time, his foot was an issue. I remember him being when he was in Washington, the foot was an issue. So I'm not saying that Asante Samuel is in the same class, but Asante Samuel is not garbage, and I'd rather take a cornerback that was fundamentally sound than one that relied on his natural ability, if that makes sense. So that's just and just that before I close out, uh when I watched Nightcap, shout out to Nightcap, but Shannon Sharpe didn't address the issue. Him bringing the bust out and him saying, him talking about himself really didn't address the question or what Asante Samuel said. And Chad Johnson, I mean, he was. It seemed like he was kind of riding the fence a little bit because I could see him, and he was trying to say it in a smooth way, like the numbers ain't that far off, dude. The numbers ain't that far off. So we're gonna see how this plays out, but that's just my opinion on the situation right now as it is. Grandpa signing off. Peace out.